fat I look on a podcast. I just ate a bunch of Greek food.
Let me make sure it actually starts this time. This last time I did not. Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Chat with a Rat, episode 5 with Lonnie Brock.
What's up?
Good to have you, sir.
Thank you, man. I just want you guys to know that Malachi is a generous and gentle lover.
When I want to be. We'll start off. I'll ask you the question I ask everyone first.
Okay.
How long have you been doing comedy for?
I'll be a year and 3 months next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And is that like a year, like consecutively, or?
Yeah. I started like January 9th of 2021.
Okay. So I know like a lot of the people that I've asked have been like, yeah, I've been doing it for like however long, but then they'll be like, I did it for, a month, year, and then I took 6 months off.
Well, considering like how many mics I'm aware of now, I started at Lakeland Live with Andy.
Okay.
So we did one Lakeland Live, and then I did Yard on Mass, and then Pink in the same night, and then a couple times at Yard, but Pink every single week, almost.
Okay.
Yeah, throughout.
How was Lakeland Live whenever they were doing mics?
So, I started during COVID. So when I showed up, it was me, a guy named Mike, who's a friend of Andy's. They worked together at Certera, and Luke and the sound guy. Like, that was it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was pretty empty.
Okay.
From what I understand, they were doing pre-COVID mics that were better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never went to any sort of comedy thing there, but I went to like a couple shows that they put on at Lakeland Live, and they usually had a decent turnout.
It's a dope venue.
It was a very cool venue.
Yeah, and Rec Room has the lease.
Yeah.
And I posted in the group chat, somebody told me they were talking about knocking the wall out and expanding in there, so who knows, man.
And still using it as a venue space, or?
Who knows? I don't know. It seems like it would be a shame not to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's set up for that. It's got the sound booth. It's got so much space, and it's like, okay, so you expand the bar, throw a couple arcades. How much of that is still just empty space?
Right. Yeah. Right on. Well, hopefully they do something cool with it like that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So one thing I was going to ask you about, because I think it's interesting that me and you, like, our styles of comedy are very different. Like, I do all really short jokes mostly, and all of your jokes are, for the most part, like...
They're getting longer.
Like, yeah, like story-based, long jokes.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you, do you, like, have any short jokes that you've
Yeah. They're much shorter starting off. Like, I had jokes about my name being Lonnie Joe, and like my first 5 minutes, the jokes that are kind of all strung together, for the most part, they're not that long. I like to tell stories in general, so I started doing stories. The problem is, if I have like a story and it's like ridiculous,
yeah,
I kind of miss the opportunity to embellish it a little bit. So like I'll tell it, and it's funny, but it's too long until you get to the funny.
Yeah. So that's perfect segue into. There was another question I was going to ask you. That's the next one I have written down actually. I was going to ask you.
I've been here all day. You just had no idea.
Yeah. Do you find that it's hard to keep the audience's attention until you get to the punchline?
Sometimes. If it's something I've been telling for a while, the easiest example would be the Uber story.
Yeah.
First time I told it, it killed. But like it is long, and it's like, yeah, yes and no. It just depends, man. It depends on the audience, because it's like, I don't tell it the same way every time. So like, I'm trying to remember the story, and then I might miss a joke. So it's kind of like, not necessarily that they lose interest, but it's like, maybe they do, I don't know. But it requires a lot of listening.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's another thing I was going to ask you is, do you have any tricks to like try to maintain their attention, like if you feel like you're losing them?
It depends on what I'm doing, because like I started moving around more on stage.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably started like, I think it was a mic like in December or maybe January. I told Andy we were at LOL one night, and I was like, I'm gonna do something different tonight. I was like, I've been standing in place while I'm telling these stories, and just because they're not laughing doesn't mean they're not listening, right?
Right, yeah.
So there's that. But it's like I'm standing there, and there's long periods with no reaction. I was like, I'm about to use this whole stage. And once I started to kind of move around and was a little more animated, it got way easier.
Yeah.
Because if you watch like guys that, I'm trying to think of someone who tells, I don't want to say Bert Kreischer because I'm a fat bearded guy and I have fucking Mike's Hard Lemonade.
I mean,
but guys like that, like, if you're gonna be long-winded, you have to be, you can't just plant yourself. You have to move around. Like if like I'm doing this right now, like if your natural movement is to do that, distract them a little bit.
Yeah.
Like keep them focused. Like if you're just standing there, they might trail off and do this. But if you look like a fucking maniac up there, they'll be like, oh shit.
Yeah, something's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, what's the worst that you've ever bombed?
Oh man. The worst that I've ever bombed, I don't even know if I'm the person to ask. I mean, whenever you get Andy on here, I'll tell you, I think personally the worst I've ever bombed, and I did a bit about it, was the first time at the Side Splitters mic. I hadn't really ventured out of Lakeland much. Like I went to Coconuts one night, got really lucky. I killed in front of my wife. I got it on video. It was dope.
Yeah.
So by the time I went to Side Splitters, I was like, okay, I got a solid 5 minutes. It's worked for the most part. I had them record it.
That's
and
that you
a friend of mine from high school came. He drove an hour and a half to see me. Like I think he thought I was.
Man, that's the worst.
Excuse me. I think he thought I was performing. But it was just like the worst part about it is I have never been so prepared, and performance-wise, I felt like I was on. It was just like the content was too heavy. So I went 4 minutes with no laughs. And at one point I was just like, I looked around and I was like, this is not going well.
Right.
And
which usually that will get a laugh if you say that.
They kind of laughed, but it was just like, and then you have a routine, I guess, and then it's like, my set had like a callback, but I have to get there. And it was just like, I didn't have time to get there, so by the time I started getting laughs, the 3 laughs that I got, there wasn't enough time to finish, and I was just like, I just started talking about how shitty I was doing.
Yeah.
So that's what made it the worst, is like, I was like, all right, I wasn't expecting to kill, but I was like, I'm ready. And then I was just like, I was not ready for that shit.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, it's super brutal whenever people come out to see you and then you don't do well. And you're like telling them afterwards, like, I swear it usually goes better than this.
The reason I brought up Andy was when we started going to Pink, I did almost the best I've ever done at Pink the first night I walked in there.
Mm-hmm.
It was just packed, and as well as everyone else, it's easier to kill in a full room if everyone's a little loose, because laughter's contagious.
Yeah.
When we go to a Pink and there's like 7 people,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Even if they're non-comics.
Right.
But Andy seen me go up there, and I've been so anxious, and I'm like popping weed mints and smoking sativa. I don't smoke sativa, and I would get so anxious that I would just be in the middle of the same routine they've seen 1,000 times, not really clicking yet, like they're not laughing because they've heard it.
Right.
And I would just stand up there with the mic like this, looking at John, and John's like, and I'm like, and it's like, I'd been there 6 weeks in a row,
Right.
and I was still. So I would do that a lot too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something that I have trouble with. I would rather, I feel like, go up in front of people if I know that most of the people there have seen like me perform at least a couple times. I'll almost rather go up there and just tell a bunch of jokes that I don't know if they're going to do good or not.
Yeah.
Like, they might all bomb. But I'd rather do that than just tell the same jokes that I know these people already heard. Because I know that, like, either A, they're not going to laugh, period. They're going to think, oh, God, this again. You know? Like, or give me, like, some sort of, like, fake laugh. I'm like, I don't want your pity laugh. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's why, like, I'll have, like, a weird set of Pink, and then, you know, Pink is very forgiving.
Yeah.
So everyone will clap, and I'm like, don't you fucking clap at that shit, you bastards. And I'm not good at, like, because I've kind of fallen into, like, being long-winded on stage, I'm not good at pivoting. Because it's like, okay, so I'm telling a story that killed last time, it's not doing well, but I've already burned 3 minutes. I just kind of buckle down and do it. And, and it's like, that's one of the things I haven't learned yet. I don't know what to do in that. I mean, it's like I know I should pivot, but I don't know where to go.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to do, like you say, like if you're in the middle of like a story, you know, especially you said like if you got like a callback at the end of that story, so you got to kind of make it to that. You know?
Well, were you at Pink on? You saw me Wednesday. It was awful. And,
well, you just forgot what you were going to say.
Well, and it was like one of the guys from Central Florida Project.
Yeah.
They go, hey man, do that thing about Memorial, and I was like, we are not doing that tonight. I'm getting through this. And then a minute later, I was like, all right, who's next?
right. Yeah, you were determined to remember it, and you didn't.
No, and then I think I screamed out, I remember during Corey's set.
Yeah. Oh man, that is brutal, man. So, what's the most annoying thing to you that you see comedians do?
The most annoying thing, that's a fucking list, man. No, I mean, I think, not getting out. I think not getting out and then wondering why they're not funny or why they think they're not funny, or maybe, you know, some people can't get out because of their schedule and some people just don't. And then it's like you show up and it's like blaming it on the crowd. That's number one for me. And the Union Hall show, fuck Union Hall, by the way. No, the Union Hall show is a good example because my best friend Steve was there, and even Rashad told me, he was like, it was a weird crowd. And I was like, I fucking sucked tonight.
That was a weird crowd.
He's like, it was a weird crowd. Because I don't know about you, because I know the mic problem extended into your set. I killed the front table.
Right.
But some people look like they were just like determined not to laugh.
It was bizarre, bro. It was a little bizarre.
But blaming it on the crowd, like, the crowd didn't give me credit for how funny I am.
Right.
It's like, did someone kill before you? Did someone kill after you?
That's the that's how you judge that. You can't blame it on the crowd if everyone else did well and then you didn't.
And it's not like you don't have to crucify yourself. It's just you're like, okay, they didn't laugh. That's the gauge. Did they laugh? No.
Yeah.
Did they look interested? No.
Right.
But it doesn't mean like you watch the next guy, and if he kills, what did he talk about? What did he do to get their interest? Was he more animated? Were they shorter jokes? Like I've done well with long stuff, but I've also eaten a bowl of dicks with it. So it's like
there's no right.
Not taking an accountability for doing shitty on a night when everyone else is doing well. That drives me nuts. And we've had conversations about certain people, like, and it's like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
They liked me, they liked this guy, they liked...
Yeah. For sure. Um, yeah, I can agree with that. That is annoying. I'd say the most annoying thing that I see comedians do is steal other people's jokes.
Didn't you? Yeah. Well, yeah. But you know what? With as bad as that is, it's. I don't think anyone in our circle does it. Not that
At least
anyone's brought up or is aware of.
Not that they're aware of, at least. I mean,
But we know.
Well, and in that case, if you're not stealing it, maybe if anyone even has something similar to somebody else, and they're not doing it and don't know about it.
It's the worst feeling sitting there listening, and like while everyone else is laughing, you're going, "Wait a minute, this sounds so familiar."
Yeah.
Like we talked the other day, like someone changed the word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I saw.
That's so frustrating.
I saw. I mean, everyone knows. I saw Tommy Gill rip Alex right in front of me.
Yeah.
And Alex wasn't there, and Corey thought I was crazy.
Mm.
And then Alex did that joke in front of me and Corey looked at me like, no. I was like, yeah, dude.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I seen that guy at the Improv did a Norm Macdonald joke. Like it was the exact same joke. He just changed what it was about. Instead of being about a dog, it was about a gun. But it's the exact same joke.
Yeah,
exactly the same. Dude. It was and people were like dying, and I'm like, yeah, this is funny because Norm Macdonald wrote it.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's a fucking master.
Yeah. Oh man.
And it's like the people who are dying, they've probably never heard the original.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah. That is crazy. Yeah, then I seen that guy again after that, and I won't go into it, but it was frustrating.
Yeah.
It's more frustrating when you see people that are stealing jokes, and then you see them being like praised or like being like successful, like and being like, oh yeah, this guy, blah blah blah.
I think there's a cap to that though. I think if you're an open micer and you're stealing jokes, odds are you're gonna run into a lot of other. I mean, when we go out to Tampa, you'll run into like a John Jacobs who's been doing this shit for a long time.
Yeah,
but
I think he was there the night that I was at the.
There's a lot of new comedians who maybe they haven't heard it or they're too busy and they're not gonna call you. And people who show up to watch open mic, they're probably not aware. But I think there's a cap to that. You'll hit a certain point. Maybe you finally get a host or a feature set for someone. And then maybe you're doing a weekend and on Friday, they see your set and they go, hey man, don't do that joke.
Yeah.
That's not yours.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you fucking better have some jokes. You know what I'm saying? Because...
Yeah. Yeah, and that was the thing too, is this guy that did that joke wasn't doing great up there. He got like a couple laughs here and there, but then he did that joke and it did pretty well, and he was like, oh yeah, it wasn't even your joke, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. The balls or the ignorance. I don't know which way it swings.
I don't either, man. It's wild. What is? Let me think how to say this. What is the biggest goal that you hope to achieve through your comedy?
Dude, I just want to be funny.
Yeah.
I want to be consistently funny. That's it, man. There's no that's it. I'm kind of like, if I figure this thing out, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
This is the only thing I've ever really stuck with. Like, legit, my wife laughs, but it's like, this in marriage.
Yeah.
I quit everything else. Like, I don't stick to stuff. I don't do good with, I'm not good at like trying something and dealing with like the failure of it. Because I'm the type of person, like I get frustrated easily, so it's
like when you're not instantly good at something, you're like,
I'm just like, I just convince myself that's not for me.
Yeah.
But with comedy, it's like, I know I can make people laugh. I've always made people laugh. That doesn't always translate to doing stand-up, but it's like, it gives you like, oh shit, I might be able to do this. But no, it's just to be consistently funny. And I take it hard when I bomb.
But, I mean, I'm sure that you have, like, you would like to be successful at, like if you could just do comedy for a living.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's hard for me to kind of think that route because, like, I think I've told you this before. You don't do this shit where I come from.
Yeah.
You know, you don't. It's like they encourage you. You're like, all right, man, you're gonna use your back for the rest of your life.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. It's like I'm 36 and my back is wrecked.
Right.
But no, man, I look at it like if I try and I don't give up and I figure it out and I'm self-aware, because I think that's how you know, you've seen people on stage that are like, they show up and then they're laughing at their own jokes, no one else is laughing,
Yeah.
that type of shit, like, they're not self-aware. I don't think, or maybe they don't care. But
Maybe, yeah.
but I feel like if you or me or whoever, anybody, if you try this and you figure out I don't know if formula is a good word, but you figure out your formula, whatever works for you, there will be opportunities. But
I think so. I think anybody that's somewhat decent at it, and if they stick with it, I think that there's a level of success that they could probably achieve if they stick with it long enough.
yeah,
As long as the person understands comedy.
right.
Because there's some of these people that I see that I'm like, I don't care how long you do comedy for, you'll never get
Well,
anywhere.
and that's why there's not a lot of people that do it successfully. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's tens of thousands of open micers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I
tons.
mean,
But
yeah.
how many good ones do you see? There's a few.
Yeah, there's a few, man. There's a few. You know, I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to, but I'm always like, you know, I see someone and someone's like, hey man, this person, you're like, did you see how bad? And I'm just like, I don't know, man, I'm new. I'm new. I still consider myself new.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm definitely new, but
Yeah, you are.
I know suck.
No, you don't suck. No.
No,
Well, we'll
I said-
see after
no,
the camera's off.
no.
He might.
I said I didn't say I don't suck. I said I know suck.
Oh.
Like I
okay.
know suck when I see it.
Oh, I thought you said you don't suck. I was like,
That goes without saying.
Dude, I feel like I'm having like a job interview for like a sex trafficking ring right
You
now.
are. That comes later. You'll be one of the.
Wait until you
best
see this
trafficked.
video. As you're looking down, I don't know what it is. I just keep like looking. I'm gonna look like a crazy person in this video. I look so distracted. There's too many colors and,
Yes.
you know, I'm looking for like whatever hidden weapons or severed limbs or.
That's all on the other side of that.
Oh God. There's a bat back, like a plastic bat.
Would you expect any less from my?
Please help me.
Let's see here. Did I get all that? Here's a good one. What do you think about all the people that are saying that Chris Rock deserved it?
It's ridiculous. I think he was it's an award show with a comedian hosting.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can't have your wife sitting in the front looking like Dr. Evil and expect me not to say something.
Right.
Like, done.
Yeah.
I don't know if he knew that she had alopecia. It's not, but he didn't bring it up necessarily.
No. Yeah. And it does. I don't feel like it really matters.
As a man, it bothered me. First of all, Chris Rock is like my goat.
Yeah.
Or it is, what at least was for a very long time.
Hmm.
So, but like, to see a man slap another man, and because of the environment, him not, I don't know what he could accomplish with Will Smith. He's a much bigger dude. But
Right.
like I saw it and I was like, don't you fucking take that from him?
right.
Like,
I just wanted him to like roast him afterwards or something at least. And you could tell it looked like Chris Rock was thinking about it. Like he was
Yeah.
kind of just like,
well, Will laughed.
yeah.
He laughed hard.
I think that's
And
why-
then
I think that's
Jada
why it
gave
made
him
it so
the
much worse.
stink face.
Yeah, I think that's kind of why he felt like he had to do that.
And you know, like my first thought was when, because you know his brother does stand up. Chris Rock's brother, Tony Rock.
I heard something about that today, actually.
And so when I saw it, first of all, I talked to a couple people, and they're like, I had no idea he was going to slap him. I like, no. I saw him walking, and I was like, he's going to put hands on him. Like, this is about to get weird. And then when he slapped him, I was like, Tony Rock's not in the audience. No one that loves Chris Rock is in that audience. No,
Right.
like, no one that, like, if the dude walked up on him in the street and slapped him, like.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was like, I don't know, man. A lot of people gave him credit for, like, keeping his composure.
Yeah.
So I guess there is something to say about that. But I'd have been stabbing Will Smith in the green room.
Yeah. I just thought it was crazy, kind of, that, like, it's like, you know, I'm sure they have security, you know, for those events. Like,
Yeah.
no one did anything. Like, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of wild.
I think people thought it was a joke.
They might have. Yeah, they probably didn't know what to think. They probably might have thought it was part of the bit or something.
I mean, but think of how it sounds. Hey, dude, did you see Will Smith slap Chris Rock at the Oscars?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Right.
Yeah. It doesn't sound legit.
Yeah. So, yeah, it probably might have been something like that. I don't know.
He
It's
slapped
wild.
the piss out of
He
him.
did.
He's, I mean, you know what? Good slap.
Yeah.
It was a good slap. Form, and even I saw like the picture after, like, Chris Rock's head is like this.
Yeah.
And it's like his hands up. So it's like I don't think he knew Chris wasn't gonna react.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that is crazy. I don't know. What a crazy situation. If you ran into a famous comedian in public, would you try to, like, tell them that you're a comedian and, like, tell them jokes that would be funny?
No, not at all. Not at all, man. I think if I ran into I met Robert Kelly. You know who Robert Kelly is?
I don't think so.
Not
by the name of
a Boston comic. He's like in his 50s. He's been around a while. I met him at Side Splitters.
Okay.
And I think he thought I was drunk. I think he's a little dude. He's like round, but he's a real small dude. So I was like this much taller than him. And I saw him, and like he had his mask on, and I was like, oh, that's Bobby Kelly. So I was just like, hey man, what's up? Fist bump. And then like he went to talk to me, and I stepped on the side of the sidewalk and rolled my ankle and kind of fell into the bushes. And then when I looked up, the motherfucker was gone.
Oh, that's a good first impression. Wow. Okay. So you were funny, but just not purposely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think I would either. I feel like they probably get people trying to do that to them all the time. They're probably super annoyed by that, I imagine.
Yeah. I know some people that I feel like would be like, hey man, I'm a comedian too.
I definitely know people that would do that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good idea.
And it's like, what do you expect them to say to that?
Right.
You're hoping they go, congratulations.
You
But
want to come
they
on
go,
tour with me?
oh yeah, where can I find your stuff?
Right, yeah.
Well, my mom's heard all my good bits.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, I post everything.
Yeah.
I could be like, here.
Yeah. Wait, don't. You're scrolling and like, don't watch this
Yeah,
one.
right, yeah.
You're like, why you got 50 videos? Don't pay attention to the number. Watch these 3.
I would never open my phone's photo section or video section in front of anyone else.
Well, I told you, I told you that when we did the Gong Show, the guy, Rashad knows the guy who was the guest comedian. You know, I talked to him afterwards. He was cool. I was super fucking nervous because, you know, me, Andy, and Mary Kay walked into 120 people.
Yeah.
Like, and we
That
just
was
went
a
to an
crowd
open
for that
mic.
show?
Yeah, it was huge.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, I'll tell you this. And Mary Kay and Andy will vouch for all of us. The competition wasn't very thick. It
Right.
really wasn't. The dude was quoting sex positions off of Urban Dictionary. But so it ends. I fortunately I won, and like the dude was like, his name's James John. I was talking to him, and I just was like, hey man, cool. This was fun. And he was like, you know, if I come back to Lakeland, he's like, maybe post for me. And it made me so nervous. I blocked him on Facebook for 3 days.